The best friend was unwilling to lose to the woman. She thought that as long as the woman died, she would win. Seeing the woman in danger, the assistant rushed in to save her, but his body was pierced by a dagger. The bodyguards immediately seized the best friend. At that moment, she truly had nothing left. She had not only lost her biological child, she was also saddled with debt she could never repay. She blamed all of it on the woman. Seeing that she still refused to repent, the adoptive son said that if she had not schemed to frame his adoptive mother, she should have been accompanying her child as he grew up and living a happy, fulfilling life. After hearing her son's words, the best friend felt deep regret. Now, her only thought was her biological son, so she apologized to the woman. She begged the woman to tell her where the child was. She felt she had let her child down for 18 years. Now she only wanted to see him once. Although the woman hated the best friend, she still respected the child's wishes. The boy knew his mother had done many evil things, but he still wanted to see her. Only when a plainly dressed boy walked over did everyone realize that the best friend's son was still alive. Looking at her thin and frail son, the best friend guessed that he must have suffered a great deal over the past 18 years. Instantly, she was overcome with guilt. She kept apologizing to her son. If she had not plotted against the woman, she would not have lost her biological son. She would not have let him suffer so much hardship. The boy did not hate his mother. He also said that the woman had been supporting him all these years, so he had been luckier than the other children at the orphanage. After hearing this, the best friend finally realized that the woman was a kind person. The woman said that the grievances between adults should not involve the children. The boy told his mother that he had once gone looking for her, but because she thought he looked like a beggar, she drove him away. The best friend was deeply remorseful. If she had known earlier that the boy was her son, she would never have closed that door. The boy knelt in front of the woman and pleaded for mercy. He knew his parents had committed many evil acts. He would repay their debts for them. He hoped the woman could forgive them. The woman told the best friend, "For someone as wicked as you to have such a kind son, that is your blessing in your fate." The next day, the woman went to the hospital to visit the assistant. She gave him a triple salary raise as a reward. Little did she know that the assistant had been secretly in love with her. The adoptive son reminded her about it, but she thought it was impossible. After all, there was a 10-year age gap between her and the assistant. They could never be together. Half a month later, the woman received news that her ex-husband and the best friend had already turned themselves in. All of their assets would be auctioned off to repay their debts, and both of them would be sentenced to 1 year in prison. Soon after, the assistant recovered and returned to work at the company. He gathered his courage and invited the woman to a movie. He had checked her schedule in advance. He deliberately bought 2 tickets for the 8 p.m. showing. Unexpectedly, the woman held an emergency meeting. It did not end until midnight. Seeing that the woman seemed distracted, the adoptive son asked what was wrong. She said that the assistant had asked her to see a movie at 8 p.m. that night, but it was already past the time. She also did not plan to keep the appointment. The adoptive son believed that the assistant would surely be waiting for her at the theater. He urged her to go as soon as possible. After hearing the adoptive son's encouragement, the woman hurried to the theater, but she found that there was no one there anymore. Just as she was about to leave, the assistant appeared behind her holding a tub of popcorn. Seeing that the popcorn was still warm, she realized that the assistant had bought many tubs, just so she could have fresh popcorn even if she was late. Although they missed the 8 p.m. showing, there would always be